Max, look at mommy. Are you bad? Are you trying to eat mommy's scraps? No, that's bad, puppy.
Hi there, how are you all doing today? This is Maria. I hope that you're very blessed and that you're having some fun arting and crafting. This is my little bin where I keep my painted papers, and these are the small sizes. The big pieces of painted papers are kept in a larger basket, and this gets pretty full. When I decide to go and do a collage, I have to really go through this, pull them out, and try to figure out what's what. It gets to be a bit daunting. So it occurred to me last night that I can start storing all kinds of paper scraps in a book. And it occurred to me to use these old books I had purchased at a Goodwill. I don't remember for what, long time ago, for some kind of a journal project. I never did it. But it's got enough pages that I can use for this purpose. What I want to do is glue my scraps to the pages by color. I know that sounds silly, but what I was thinking of using is their repositionable glue stick. I've used this stick before. I've had it for years, and I also use regular glue stick. When I do collages, I really like to piece my pieces together before I run them to the sewing machine with a little bit of glue underneath. And a lot of times I use my regular glue for that. But sometimes when I'm really having a hard time with some collages and I'm not sure about them, I use the repositionable a lot because I can let it sit one day and come back the next day and move the pieces around because you can unstick them. So I noticed that there is another glue. It's called, I think it's Restickable or something like that. I couldn't find a repositionable anymore on Amazon, but I think it says Restickable. Anyway, it's the same, I believe it's the same thing. You can glue your stuff on, papers on, and then you can unstick them. You can peel them off like a Post-it note. So I thought that would be a great solution for me to start gluing my scraps and probably organize them by color as I start and see what happens, and maybe eventually tab them so that I know what book has what colors, where are the colors that I need. And so I started doing already this book with some lined paper, coffee papers, the neutrals that I use either for junk journals or art journals. And I really like this idea. I have overlapped some of the pieces here, and I can see everything I have. All kinds of pieces here. I'm really liking this, and they stay. They don't go anywhere. They're there. And I can peel it off, and I can stick them back on. For what I do, this is perfect. I may have a little bit of sticky residue on the back. It's not bad. If I decide to paint on the back of this, depending on the kind of painting that I do, it could be a problem if I am working on a project that is precious and exact and precise painting. But I don't do that kind of painting. Most of my painting is pretty rugged, has a lot of texture, and these papers are used for that. So a little bit of glue in the back wouldn't bother me. If I use some of it for a junk journal, maybe to write on my notes, it would be an issue to have the glue on the back, but I think some of it can be removed with just a little bit of alcohol. It depends. But anyway, this will work for me. I am already liking this idea. And so I have all these papers that have been collecting, and I started mindlessly just gluing them. And I love it. I love it. I think this will work for me. And so I just wanted to share this with you guys and bring you on the journey as I start dealing with my painted papers. Those were my scrapbook and neutrals papers. These are my painted papers. And so just to give you a brief idea of how this is done, nothing to it. Anybody can do it. And for the people that love glue books, this is great because some people like to just mindlessly glue things, and this is perfect for that. And what I find is that just kind of get the papers together by color and just overlap them a little bit on top of each other. Still get to see all the papers that I have. And I think that would be a big solution for this. So let's see. So I am done gluing my painted papers to these pages. I have gone by color as much as possible. And I am very happy about this because not only it looks beautiful, it looks very inviting to create. I think it's inspiring. And I managed to empty my little basket of papers. And now I have them available here on every page to look at and see what it is I can do with it. So that's going to be a game changer for me because a lot of these little pieces were just getting lost. Every time I would try to do a collage or something, I would get a few out and I would have to dig in the bottom, and it was kind of a pain. This, I think, is going to work wonderfully for that reason. Some of the pieces here and there may become unglued, but that's no big deal. This is a different day today. This I started doing a week ago. And so the papers have been sitting here. And just to show you, nothing is falling off. If something falls off, it's because I didn't add enough glue, or maybe in some cases actually, if the paper is too irregular and thick. Like for instance, this paper is not thick, but it's very irregular and wrinkled. I went ahead and used regular glue stick because when I pull it off, it's not going to cause much damage. It's going to be used in a very rough layout, or I should say informal, not precious layout. So I used a regular glue stick for this and also for this doily because the back is pretty porous. And I think it's going to come off easily. It's already coming off. If I pull it off, nothing's going to rip, I don't believe. So these are little pieces of canvas, and these I definitely had to use the regular glue stick for it because it was not taking the prepositionable one. So this is great. I am very excited to actually start working with this. One thing that did come to mind, and it's a tip if you decide to do this, I am going to eventually cut out these pages and put them in a binder because then I can keep adding more pages to the binder per color. Right now, they're mostly organized in color, but some places I did find some odds and ends that I had to add again. And I think it just for my sanity and to just be able to tab them per color, it will make things easier. So just an idea there. So I had made a previous video, or I think it was the last one, on using your scraps to make journals. And that's what I did. I created 2 journals. And so after I made my little journal, I was working on it and I have created more scraps. And of course, if you do this, you're familiar with that. The more you work, the more scraps you create, especially if you love collage like I do. We tend to just rip papers and papers and papers. Even the small papers get ripped off. I have also created a 3rd book, and it's the spiral. And I want to put in them little images that I have laying around, both for junk journaling and art journaling. And this one's come off. There, it glues back on, no big deal. I am not taking these books with me, shaking them up all over the place, but I think they work very well. I'm thinking they will. I haven't used them yet. These are words and verses, and eventually I want to be able to store these in a book in the same manner as well, at least some of them, probably not the bigger pieces. So what I'm going to do right now, and maybe this video won't be as short as I thought it would be because I like to maybe give you a 20-minute video. I think people enjoy that. And I want to go ahead and try this out, this layout, this system in my little collage book, one of them. And this is a little collage book with fabric and papers and stitching. And I love working in it, and I need little pieces of paper. That's what was getting frustrating, trying to find all the little pieces of paper to complement each other, to match each other for my little books. So I think this will be perfect for that, and I want to see what I can do right now. And I hope that you enjoy it, and I hope that we come up with something cute in this little book. I want to share the Word of God with you guys as usual, and I don't have a lot of room in this video for it, so I thought I would interject here Psalm 25, 4 and 5. It says, "Let me know your ways, O Lord. Teach me your paths. Guide me in your truth and teach me, for you are the God of my salvation." I encourage you to pray like this. Psalm 25 is a beautiful prayer, and I believe that we can pray the Word of God and it becomes a blessing to us. I hope you'll enjoy it. So I am very happy because I think the system is working great already for me. Very organized and easy to figure out and see the pieces. I can in fact lay some of the pieces against each other just on the pages where I store them and see if something is going to go well with it, which is huge for me. Much easier. So I'm trying to figure out a little collage in my little collage book here. And it always takes me a little bit to figure out because I have to make sense of the color and composition. These are all painted papers, and I am trying to piece them together kind of like a puzzle. It is fun to find what pieces go next to what pieces. If you can find maybe a shape that lines up with the shape from the other piece that you are trying to put it against. For instance, this little piece here is completely different than this piece here, yet it has the same colors and similar markings, so it's kind of fun to be able to put them next to each other, and they almost look like they were at least the markings like they are the same, even though they are different pieces. And that's what's fun to do, to join the pieces together if you have, or shapes that you can actually attach to each other. So here I see this big flower here. It has the same color of pink as this one, and that's what I like about it. I like the combination, even though they're two different pieces, and this one has the same type of marking almost. So I'm kind of liking this combination. I pulled this basket here, and this basket was filled, I believe, with my neutrals for junk journaling and art journaling as well. And so now it's down to really none of that. What I have is just some little projects that I had started, a little piece of cardboard, and these clusters that I have made before. And these are a lot of fun to do. If you can get ahead and try to put together some clusters as ornaments or focal points for your journals, those are great. So I want to see if there's something in here that I can find that I can add to this collage. What is fun too is to be able to deconstruct things. This is an idea or a tip I'm going to give to you. If you have a journal that you do not love the art in it and you have not finished the journal, I personally like to finish my journals. I know there is a lot of people that start journals and keep collecting them and they don't finish them. That will drive me nuts. I do have some unfinished journals that I keep trying to add on to that eventually I will finish. If I don't like them, if I don't enjoy the art in them, I like to deconstruct them. I destroy them. I pull the pages out and I take them apart. I rip them. I rip the art in it. I save the parts that I really like, and I use them for collages in other projects, and that's what's great. I have this piece here that I had used in the journal page, and I did not like what it looked like, so I tore it up, and this is what I'm left with. I find it a bit interesting. It does have stitches on it, painted papers, and some other random, I think this is an vintage page paper with some writing on it. So this is a lot of fun. There's even some paper from images from a book and things like that. So I find that interesting. I did not like it in that journal, but I think I can use it in something else, not in this collage. But let's see what I can find here. Oh, this is another deconstructed piece. I absolutely hated it with what I had going on that page, but I took it apart because if you cut these off and put them in certain collages, they go perfectly. And so I find it interesting. This is super cute to me. It is a piece of packaging paper that's all irregular and some fabric and some painted. I believe this is tracing paper that was painted with alcohol inks. So the fabric has been sewn to the papers and it's just colorful and cute. I love it. I love the style. I love the size, the shape. And I think this is super simple as a collage and it goes very well like this. Just move it to the middle a little bit more and attach the pieces like this. I think that is simple and very cute. In fact, what I can do is maybe add some stitching over here. Maybe some mark making, I don't know. I like it pretty simple. Now I have to figure out this one. I kind of like this piece because it has the little piece. Again, that marking, that blue that goes with these other ones. So I don't know if I keep that together like this with this new piece. This cluster I found, maybe that would work. I think I do like that. I think it works without it much more simple. However, I think it also works with it. So it is really good if you can go ahead, just an idea, if you enjoy doing this. For instance, when I go to my kids' house, I dog sit for them. I play with the dogs, I love animals, and then I just settle down and it's a few hours, so I bring my crafts to do, which this project is perfect for that. I mean, my scrap storage system in these books, the way I'm starting to do this, I think is perfect because I can just take the books and instead of taking baskets filled with papers, just take the books, take some fabrics, take some thread, some scissors and glue, and I'm set. I can do these little clusters. I can either stick them together and come home and sew them under the sewing machine, or I can hand sew them while I'm over there playing with or resting with the animals. They like to cuddle after a while. So I think it's just a great system, especially for traveling and for me when I go visit my kids. As I was saying, if you can get little clusters made ahead of time, this is fabric and paper and stitches. And it is so much fun to do. They are so easy. And you can have all these prepared in advance and put them onto your collages. Like I did this one that I found this. This was great. If it's so good, I think with this color, you will have a diversity of them, variety. And then, you know, you can put them on your new collage that you're doing. All of a sudden, something that you created maybe a year ago will go onto your collage perfectly today. So over here, I love this paper. Let's see. These colors go very well with that. I would have to figure out what to do, what else I can add to it. I was trying to play with my coffee dyed papers as well. I like them as neutrals. I ended up not using any over here. And let's see if there's something here that can fit. I do like this one. Again, another little piece of Collage papers and fabric and stitches and brown paper right there. And it has blues. This has blues. I have the greens and the pinks. And I have a little bit of purple. I don't have much purple here. Maybe a slight tendency to purple somewhere here and there. And a very dark purple here. But I think it would be a great complement for this page. Once we add black stitching or black markings to this side, and we have something like this on this side, you have the black working well together in both pages. So let's see what happens here. But anyway, I'm very pleased that I do not have this full of neutral papers, but just these little clusters that I need to start somewhere. Let's see what happens. This is kind of cute to me. This could be a pocket really, and I did extend the edge of it. I'm going to fold it over the other page, and it will be a tab, so it will stick out from the book, and at the same time it's like acting like a little pocket to just store little papers. So I have fabric.